The Senate crypto regs meeting happened today. Got updates for you. They're not good, as we're getting even more divided when we used to be, working together. We're going to talk some price action along with an exchange for sale. How much money do you have handy? You got some friends who got some money? I've got the listing for you. Let's buy a Swiss crypto exchange. We'll talk price action, the latest on the government shutdown, and more.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Crypto exchange for sale, fully operational crypto fintech with trading platform available for acquisition, and it's fully accredited. You got enough money to buy it? I don't know. I wouldn't buy an exchange right now. Now, before we get into the crypto news, you know the deal. You're the viewer. You matter most. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to myself. Hold up. There ain't no one else in this room, so I am talking to myself. But let's get to your comments anyways, because guess what? I'm bringing you the news late today. Or am I early for tomorrow? Texas Tim 86 dropping support on the channel. Thank you, kind sir. Says, I'm just going to pay you to say it. We ain't getting Scheiße until 2026. I'll translate it for you gringos out there. We ain't getting shit until 2026. My man's talking about regs and ETFs. And after the meeting today, that might be possible. Why? The Democrats are like, nah, we don't want to rush this kind of stuff. For real, that's what came up today. The Republicans want a November deadline for regs, and the Democrats are like, we really don't want to rush it. And a lot of the Democrats now that were pro-crypto, guess what? They're not showing their support. Why? Because they don't want to be seen as crossing ranks and working with the Republicans. Why? Well, because of the government shutdown. This is casting a nasty shadow over everything. Aaron Ed says, Klaus, what drew you to Guade in the first place? If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you exactly what brought me here. It's not a quick answer. It's very in-depth, and I'll explain to you why you should come here to Guatemala. By the way, I got my daughter hanging out with me. Really cool, but I miss my doggies and my Tarkov. Beast York, Ontario, dropping support on the channel, and thank you, channel members. A little Canadian minis. Maple syrup come with that? I'd like that. Says, thanks for helping me navigate things that are way over my head. Look, the entire market is learning right now, and what do I mean by that? Well, you'll see what I'm talking about here soon enough. Oh, God, I don't want to do this, all right? Screw the heat map. It's red right now. Altcoin season index sucks massive balls. Someone took a bunch of shit out of the Louvre. And you're like, bro, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, crypto custody is a problem, and apparently so is custody of very, very fine art. What happened? On Sunday, a group of 4 hooded thieves broke into the Louvre by smashing a second floor window using stolen movers lift to reach the museum. They took a whole bunch of historic jewelry valued at 88 million euros, catch me if you can, or $102 million, from the Paris Museum, referring to the heist as a terrible failure. Crypto custody a problem? Louvre custody a problem. So I just thought I would throw that in there for you. But yes, there is a Swiss crypto exchange for sale. I've got it right here for you. Interesting. Massive XRP reversal sends price towards $1. What the fuck are you talking about? I swear some of these articles out here, they write these taglines just to scare you into reading. And then once you read it, you're like, wait a minute, we're not even at the $2 mark, and you're trying to scare me about the $1 mark? That's almost as bad as the people saying, by Friday, XRP $10,000, and you're like, bro, we can't even hold on to 250, and you're talking 10K. Either way, watch out for the FUD. Most of it comes from the BTC maxis. The Senate crypto meetings reveal an explosive partisan tension. Okay, talked about this a little bit in the beginning of the video, but here's the deal. The big problem right now is that there's plenty of Democrats that are pro-crypto, but they don't want us to be seen to be working with the Republicans as breaking ranks because of the whole shutdown thing. So the shutdown thing, not only is it screwing up the regs, it's also screwing up the support. Although the Senate has been working on new crypto market structure regs for months, we haven't seen a lot of progress. Fuck, I haven't seen a lot of progress from my government for the last however many years. Ongoing negotiations stalled earlier this month, and several industry CEOs proposed a new measure to restart them. Oh, shit. Today, a group of influential crypto leaders met separately with members of both leading parties. So what's the issue? On-site reporters claimed that the GOP meeting was very chill, with the Republican senators showing really real willingness to restart talks. Apparently, they left the discussion with actionable new priorities, like creating a legal definition for DeFi and devising measures to fight crime. Okay, good. Here's one of the key sticking points, though. The battle is over the power between SEC and CFTC. Who gets to regulate crypto? If crypto is deemed a security, right, or if X crypto, because we know there's a whole bunch of them out there. So some of them are going to be securities, some of them are going to be commodities, some are going to be like meme, which is like art and collectibles. A lot of people have said that already. So they're trying to figure out who gets the power. We know the Democrats were protecting the shit out of the SEC with securities laws because it's a little bit more stringent. That being said, here's the other big problem. Senate Democrats and Republicans also differ on timelines for passing the crypto market structure bill, with Republicans advocating for a November action to meet year-end goals, while Democrats opposed rush deadlines. In fact, there was a leaked quote out there that said, this is from one of the Democrats, that said, we are even thinking of 2026, maybe second quarter for crypto regs. Yeah, it appears that there's a bunch of Democrats out there that realize that once we get regs, the altcoins are going to roar. What do the Democrats not want? The Trump coin, World Liberty Financial, and all that other shit to gain more oomph. Do you remember when Elizabeth Warren, gross, I'm trying not to throw up. She is just a fucking cranky bitch. And trust me, she's not fucking Native American. Don't let her bamboozle you on that crap. But do you remember when Elizabeth Warren said, if we pass the stablecoin market structure Genius Act, we're going to take stablecoins from 300 billion to 3 trillion. We're going to 10x it. And she knew as soon as we got regs for stables, the market will boom. There's a bunch of Democrats right now that are like, shit. So if we put regs out, Trump and all his other crypto buddies, their value's going to go up. So now, not only are we having big divisions on is it SEC, CFTC, also on deadlines, because the Democrats know exactly what you and I know. As soon as we get the regs, the alts are gonna frickin' roar. Now, the government shutdown is out on the 22nd day, and the Senate failed to pass another bill. This was the 12th time that the vote failed. There was also a senator, Senator Merkley, addressed the chamber for 22 hours and 37 minutes. For real. You can grandstand all you want. You could babble. You could do all this bullshit, right? You're not making progress. So instead of Merkley babbling for the 22 hours and 37 minutes, maybe he could have babbled for 1 hour and 37 minutes and saved the other 21 hours for working with his people across the aisle. We're seeing a divide in this country like we've never seen before. The Senate vote was 54 to 46. Remember, they need 60 votes to get there, which means what? 6 Democrats have to cross the aisle. At 22 days long, the shutdown is now the second longest funding lapse in modern history. Just throwing it out here. There are certain records that you don't want to be known for. This is going to be one of them. And if these Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans think that there's any honor in shutting down the government and not working together, my phrase to you is go fuck yourself. We're going to vote all of you out. Because you know who suffers through this? We do. The people do. This is an absolute mess. Volume in the crypto market right around $200 billion. There's still a lot of fear in the market, and we can understand why. 29 out of 100 for the fear and greed index. XRP price, look, we're getting a little bit of support, but again, zoom out and you know exactly what's going on. Since the dipperoni right here, probably going to bounce between 230, 255 until the shutdown improves, or we get juicy news with the United States and China. Yet ETF and reg news, well, that's not going to happen because the shutdown vote has to get passed first. So right now, XRP, the alts, and everything is just hanging out, waiting to see if these two sides can work together. Fuck. When I say that out loud, that sounds really stupid. The Democrats and the Republicans working together? In fact, the Democrats know that as soon as those regs happen, Trump or anyone else into crypto, like you or me, we're going to be making more money. Because that's when all the traditional money is going to start floating in because it's going to be protected finally. So yeah, we might be here for a while. And to quote an amazing viewer out there, Texas Tim, I'm giving you another shout out. He says, I'm just going to pay you to say it. We ain't getting Scheisse until 2026. Ja und Becks. Okay, so how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to lie to you and say that the Senate's moving along and we're doing good and regs and ETFs and all that shit are going to be at the end of the year? Or do you want me to tell you the truth? Well, the truth is if we keep going through this, we're going to have to, yes, extend the funding bill. Not only are we going to have to extend the funding bill, we're probably going to have to go through this again when that funding bill lapses because people on both sides ain't working together. And since they can't agree on funding, that means the ETFs and the regs ain't getting done. And the Democrats that are pro-crypto don't want regs to happen. Well, they do, but they don't want it to happen right now because then it would be seen as if they're crossing lines. Yeah, this shutdown thing is an absolute fucking mess. Hence the reason why the market isn't going anywhere. Hence, every time we see XRP get past that 250 mark, she goes on back down. Gold and silver markets are like, yo, we might want to pair some of our shit here because we're afraid the market might crash more, especially if the funding thing goes further and further. Now, in the beginning, one of y'all asked me, one of you, I pick your comments at random times during the day, asked me, why did I pick Guatemala in the first place? And I'm going to give you my honest answer. Reason I picked Guatemala started with this. I was looking for a cool place to go that was close to the airport. So when I landed, I wouldn't have to take, like a 2-3 hour bus ride to a cool city. I heard a lot of good things about Guatemala City. I heard that they have great food, great people, and I heard that Zone 4 was really awesome. I did a lot of research with my kids on this. So now that I'm here, I can tell you that the reason I keep coming back is because of the people. These are some of the best people that I've ever met. I was just hanging out in Zone 1 today, which is like their old historical zone, and I was stopped by 2 people today that just wanted to talk to me. One of the guys asked me, why did I come here? Another guy asked me, like, how much I liked it. Both people, we struck up pretty long conversations. And I got to admit, they were very friendly and they were very prideful about their country. Both people that I talked to today really wanted to tell me about the country and the people and everything, like just the culture. And I like that. And don't get me wrong, every country has problems. Hell, I just did a whole fucking video on the United States government sucking massive wang and, well, let's be real. Governments all around the world are bending us all over, so you got that. But for real, the reason I came here was because I heard they had good food. I heard that the Guatemalan people had a lot of pride. And I heard also that the country was turning things around. They've cleaned things up, just like El Salvador has been cleaning stuff up. Yeah, you kind of get the vibe in the air. And El Salvador is right next door here. So that vibe is continuing. And you're seeing growth here. A really good sign for a city is big, big, big ass like cranes. Like the big ones, like the big ones that are like way above buildings. Because that means they're building big things, that there's money flowing in, that there's people that want to move there. Go to Chicago, go to Illinois, and you might see cranes, but let's be real here. People ain't moving to Chicago, they're leaving Chicago. How many people left California to do what? Exactly, to go to other states. You see my point. So, what keeps me here? The people, the food, the culture, and honestly, it's the pride. I don't think I've ever met a more like prideful people. And I've been stopped multiple times, like multiple times where people just want to talk to me and they want to talk about their country and they want to tell me about their country. And it's awesome. When I was in Antigua, there was a gentleman there. I sat there for over 30 minutes talking to him about why I came here, why this is my 3rd trip here, and you should have seen the look on his face. He was so happy. He had so much pride hearing that there were people from the United States wanting to come to Guatemala. And I can tell you this, I have seen, this again, my 3rd time here, I have seen this year an uptick in gringa tourism too, because the ladies come here as well. And honestly, this country deserves it. I just spent my day in Zone 1 doing churches with my daughter, right? My daughter is Catholic, that whole thing. So, doing a lot of churches. And my daughter was just like awestruck by the people. We were able to see a confirmation. That was awesome. Like super awesome. Like thousands of people in this church just looking at this confirmation. It was cool. You don't get that everywhere. I don't get that same pride from the people in the United States. It's not like people in the United States stop random strangers and like, hey, why are you coming here to the States? No, you don't get that shit at all. But here you do. So yeah, you got the superficial stuff like food. You got really cool sights to see. You got Antigua, which is really cool. Panachel, Shayla, Titlan, all that kind of stuff, right? But that inside pride in the progression that you see here, the number of people that just greet you on the street, and seriously, you should see their eyes light up. Just walking by, saying "Buenos tardes, senor," and watching their eyes light up, and they respond back, and just that sign of respect. You don't get that in the States. Hell, there's plenty of spaces in the States where when I walk down the road, if I were to say, "Hey, what's up?" they'd be like, "Go fuck yourself," and I'd be like, "Okay." I mean, my wife's busy, so I might have to. So yeah, that's the reason why I picked Guatemala, and that's the reason why I've been here now 3 times this year. I will have spent almost 2 months in this country in 2025. Enrique said, "Why don't I move here?" My wife said he probably would. I don't know if my wife would because she really likes her job and where she lives and she can't work remotely. But for real, it's worth it. Come here, give the people a chance, give the culture a chance. Zone 4, coolest freaking place ever. For real. Zone 4, I mean, I know this is really long, but I think this is awesome. Zone 4 has got this row of bars and a row of restaurants on the next street. Awesome to go to. Some of the best food, the smells. And the cool thing is, they don't have all like the obnoxious street signs like we do, like the big, big, massive signs like, oh, come here to Texas Roadhouse. No, you'll walk past a doorway, it'll be open, and ooh, ¿qué es eso? Power Comeraki. And then, like, all of a sudden, you find that they're just cooking some good, juicy food inside. No signs, no hours posted, no shit like that. And it's awesome. So, for real, if you're going to come, you can stay in Zone 4, one of the coolest, like, sub cities or, like, districts of a city I have ever seen in my life. And I've traveled to a whole bunch of places. So, that answer your question of why I picked Guatemala and why I keep going to Guatemala. Choo choo what? Well, I'm looking outside right now and it appears to be raining again. So choo choo, I may need to put my raincoat on and choo choo bitches.